In today's episode of Tony's Fords and Mustangs, we're going to talk about a car that Ford outright rejected building in 1962. You see, Mercury wanted to build its version of the Mustang, and Ford balked at the idea of having competing cars. After the release of the Mustang in 1964 and its overwhelming success, Ford management relented and let Mercury build the Cougar. Today we're going to cover the first generation of cars from 1967 through 1970. Now the question I have for you is the Cougar a better version of the Mustang? A lot of people in the Mercury camp will say, yes, indeed it is. But before you make that call, let's check out everything first generation Mercury Cougar. The Mercury Cougar was released by Lincoln Mercury on September 30th, 1966. Mercury stated it wanted to position the car between the Mustang and the Thunderbird. It was intended to be an upscale pony car. It would offer more comfort features than a Mustang and handle better than a Thunderbird. To that end, the Cougar had a distinct look, feel, and appeal from its highly successful predecessor. Though it shared the same chassis, it was longer and had a wider wheelbase. The 1967 Cougar received its own body design from the ground up, although the popular long hood, short deck proportions of the Mustang was to be retained. The model line was marketed as having a European style and features. It was the first Lincoln Mercury vehicle with hidden headlamps. The front fascia was distinguished by a split grille featuring vertically slatted chrome trim. The rear fascia was styled similarly, concealing dark tail lamps behind vertical slatted trim. The very popular sequential turn signals were a standard feature.
This is Motor Trend Magazine's Car of the Year award, and the winner, selected by experts to receive the Oscar of the car business, Mercury Cougar Car of the Year. Mercury believes a man's car should be top cat. Mercury, the man's car.
The Cougar was offered with nearly every Mercury option. This included speed control and a tilt-away steering wheel, which was a power-operated steering column that swung up and out of the way when the driver's door was opened. For $185, one could upgrade to the XR7. That added a simulated wood-trimmed dashboard, full instrumentation, toggle switches, and an overhead console. The 67 Cougar shared most of its engine lineup with the Mustang. However, Mercury solely offered V8 engines. Standard was the 200 horsepower, 289 cubic inch 2-barrel carbureted V8. Options included a 4-barrel carbureted 225 horsepower 289, a 320 horsepower 390 cubic inch Marauder V8, as well as the 335 horsepower 390 GT V8. Available for both the standard Cougar and the Cougar XR7 was the GT option package. It was developed as a sportier version of the Cougar. Standard was the 390 cubic inch Marauder GT V8, as well as an upgraded suspension, larger brakes, wheels, tires, and a low restriction exhaust system. Mercury offered the Dan Gurney Special Appearance option that was available on the standard and XR7 models. In addition to a signature decal, the option package included turbine-style wheel covers and a chrome engine dress-up kit. Out of the gate, the Cougar far exceeded sales projections. Ford had projected sales of around 85,000 units in its first year. However, over 150,000 Cougars would find a home in 1967. The Cougar would account for nearly 40% of all 1967 sales for the entire Lincoln Mercury division. The Cougar was released solely as a two-door hardtop and was priced around $300 more than the equivalent Mustang. The Cougar received the 1967 Motor Trend Car of the Year award, becoming the first and only Mercury brand vehicle to do so.
And now the Motor Trend Magazine Car of the Year swings into 1968 with a line of new Cougars that pound for pound, dollar for dollar, are America's best equipped sports cars. The longest wheelbase in its class. Standard Cougar Power is a 302-inch, 5-liter V8 2-barrel, which runs on regular fuel. A special GT Cougar offers a 390-inch, 4-barrel, 6.5-liter engine and other high-performance features. Back again in '68, of course, is XR7, distinguished by its European road car interior. New Cougar options include a headrest, AM/FM stereo radio, and of course, extra safety is part of Cougar or any Mercury's beauty. Just some of the Cougar's built-in safety features are folding paddle-type door handles, new rear reflector plaques, and front marker lights for extra nighttime visibility. Finally, to top off the excitement line for 68 is a brand new Cougar. It's the Mercury Cougar 7-liter GTE with its own distinctive blackout grille, specially styled rear end, and a two-tone side treatment. Underneath the twin air-scooped hood is 7 liters of punching power. If you want action, style, and grace, get in and drive the new GTE.
1968 for the Cougar was mostly a carryover year. However, revisions related to compliance with federal safety mandates were added. This included front marker lights as well as front shoulder belts. In a first for Ford Motor Company, the 1968 Cougar offered an electronically operated sunroof as an option. The one thing that changed drastically was the powertrains. The 302 cubic V8 designed for the new federal emission standards became the standard engine. This engine produced 210 horsepower with a 2-barrel carburetor and 230 horsepower with a 4-barrel carburetor. The 2-barrel Marauder returned and was introduced for non-GT Cougars, produced 280 horsepower. GT Cougars could opt for the 325 horsepower 394 barrel. The new GTE was introduced with a 427 cubic inch V8. It was officially rated at 390 horsepower. A mid-year revision introduced the 428 Cobra Jet Ram Air. That was on April 1st, 1968. It was officially rated at 335 horsepower. Car Life magazine tested a 427 automatic Cougar GTE and recorded a 0 to 60 time of 7.1 and a quarter-mile time of 15.1 at 93.6 miles per hour. Mercury sold 113,000 Cougars in 1968.
Hey, look at us now. We've got the winners and how. Lincoln Mercury leads the way.
Lincoln Mercury leads the way with a beautiful new Cougar for 69, completely restyled with new power. The big cat's got a deeper V8 growl, 351 cubic inches now standard, and all the sporty ideas Cougar made famous. Flip-lid eyes, flashing tail, buckets, stick, all standard. And now we've got it all in a brand new Cougar convertible. A beautiful new reason why your Lincoln Mercury dealer leads the way.
Drive Cougar and see how great a winner can be. Lincoln Mercury leads the way.
The 1969 Cougar is revised. The straight-line body transitions to a Coke bottle style, distinguished by a sweeping body crease sloping down from the hood line to the rear wheels. The rear vent windows were deleted. Concave tail lamp lenses replaced the previous convex design. A convertible body style was added to the model line, available for both the standard and XR7 trim lines. A power-operated top was standard. 1969 also saw the introduction of the Cougar Eliminator. The Cougar Eliminator replaced the GT and GTE as the Performance Cougar on April 1st, 1969. The Eliminator option consisted of the Eliminator equipment package, the Eliminator decor group, and the Performance tire/handling group. These included a front air dam, body-colored rear spoiler, styled steel wheels, a blacked-out front grille, body-colored hood scoop, Eliminator specified body side stripes in either white or black, left-hand remote control racing style mirror, heavy-duty suspension, and a performance rear axle. Interior upgrades included high back bucket seats, unique instrument panels with full instrumentation. Only 4 exterior colors were available on the Eliminator: white, bright blue metallic, competition orange, and bright yellow. The standard engine was the 250 horsepower 351 Windsor 2-barrel. Optional engines include the 290 horsepower 351 Windsor 4-barrel, the 320 horsepower 394 barrel, the 335 horsepower 428 Cobra Jet or Super Cobra Jet, both available with or without ram air, and the 290 horsepower Boss 302. Car Life magazine tested a Boss 302 4-speed Eliminator and recorded 0 to 60 times of 7.6 seconds, and it passed the quarter-mile mark in 15.8 seconds at 90 miles per hour. There were 2,250 Eliminators built in 1969. Mercury sold a total of a little over 100,000 Cougars in 1969. The 1970 Cougar saw yet another revision to the front fascia. The split grille returned with a new hood, adopting a pronounced body color center section. As part of the front fascia revision, the Cougar also received a new front bumper and revised front fenders. Concave tail lamp lenses remained, but with revised bezels, in addition to revised side marker lights. A change to the position of the rear axle necessitated a new rocker panel length and rear quarter sheet metal. The models offered and driveline stayed almost consistent, the exception being the 4-barrel 351 became the 300 horsepower Cleveland and the 390 was discontinued. For 1970, the standard engine for the Eliminator became the 300 horsepower 351 Cleveland 4V. The Eliminator option blacked out exterior trim expanded from the front grille to include the hood scoop and taillight bezels. A Cougar running cat badge replaced the Mercury crest emblem on the fuel door, and a passenger side racing mirror was added. The body side stripes were altered to run the length of the car along the upper belt line, and now included a hood stripe and rear spoiler stripe. Exterior paint colors available for 1970 mimicked the grabber colors in the Ford lineup and included competition orange, competition yellow, competition blue, competition gold, competition green, and pastel blue. The special paint order option was also available for Eliminators in 1970, producing single-digit examples in colors such as black, light gray metallic, white, and red. Optional engines included the 428 Cobra Jet or Super Cobra Jet, both available with or without ram air, and the Boss 302. Supercars magazine tested a 428 CJ 4-speed, and it ran 0 to 60 in 7.2 seconds, and the length of the quarter mile in 14.4 at 99.28 miles per hour. There were 2,268 Eliminators built in 1970. Mercury sold a total of 72,000 Cougars in 1970. So is a Cougar a better version of Mustang? I'm going to say yes and no. It depends on what you were looking for at the time. If you wanted a car that had more options, was a little bit nicer to ride in, it was a little more refined, then yes, the Cougar would be the car for you. If you were a performance first person, then you wanted a Mustang. The Mercury was always a little bit longer and a little bit heavier. Therefore, it wasn't as quick in a straight line. They shared the same power plants. So performance first, you want a Mustang. Something that's a little bit nicer and maybe had a little better ride, then yeah, you could go for a Cougar. In today's collector car market, a Cougar is a pretty good buy if you can find a complete car. Their prices tend to lag behind their counterpart Mustangs. However, parts aren't as easy to come by. You can find any part you need for a first-generation Mustang. That's just not the case with a Cougar. So if you're looking at a used Cougar somewhere, try to make sure it's a car that fits your needs and wants, because altering it or restoring it completely could be quite costly. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Hit that like button. That way other folks can see it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for similar content. If you're a fan of the Mercury Cyclone, maybe check out this video over here. Covers the complete history, all the options, engines, those type of things. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you.